Go Math Lesson 3.3. Today we're talking about graphing things on a number line. Number lines are incredibly helpful when we're dealing with negative numbers, especially in relationship to themselves, because when we compare them, we sometimes forget that the numbers are moving away from zero. So as the numbers are getting larger, typically with positive numbers, we're starting at zero, and I'm going to put it over here so we have more space for our negative numbers. If I'm dealing with 1, there's 2, there's 3. As the numbers get bigger, they're getting larger in value because they're positive. But if I'm down here in negative, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, they're getting greater distance away from zero, but it's actually less because I'm further and further away from that zero, further away from those positives, right? So if I'm looking at a number line and I want to graph some numbers, let's say -2.2, 1.4, and -4.5, right? Just grabbing some numbers and we're going to look at them. So if I look at -4.5, first thing I need to do is negative, so I'm going to be to the left of zero. Come all the way down and I say 4.5 is between what two integers? Well, it's between 4 and 5. So -4.5 will be between -4 and -5. About halfway right in here. We don't have to be incredibly accurate. This is -4.5. A lot of times the big mistake that people make is they'll go, okay, there's -4, and they know that 0.5 is a half past it. So they'll put it here. But what you're actually putting it at is -3.5. So again, asking yourself, what two integers would -2.2 be between? It'd be between -2 and -3. So -2.2, again, I'm just ballparking where that would need to be about 1/5 of the way towards -3, closer to -2. And if I have a positive 1.4, 1.4 is between 1 and 2. Just asking yourself that simple question can really go a long way. Between 1 and 2, somewhere around the middle, maybe just a little bit to the left, is a positive 1.4. So asking yourself, first off, is my number positive or is it negative? So which side of zero am I going to be on? And then what two integers is my number in between? That will save you a lot of headaches moving forward. So what would that look like in a word problem? The freezing point of a liquid is the temperature at which the liquid turns into a solid when it's cooled. The table shows the approximate freezing points of various liquids. Graph each temperature on a number line. So let me make this go right here. I see carbonated water. I'm going to make myself a little number line. And we are in degrees Celsius. So degrees Celsius. Degrees Celsius. All right. So degrees Celsius. And I'm going to start here. And I have 0. We'll start at 0. And then we'll move negative. Let's do 0.5, then -1, then -1.5, because I'm dealing in a lot of decimals here. -1.5 over here is going to be 0.5, then 1, 1.5, and we get an idea. This is just a rough estimate here. So carbonated water, -0.3. So 0.3 is between 0 and 1. So -0.3 will be between 0 and -1. And I know that it's actually even in between -0.5, so it's going to be somewhere right around here, -0.3. That's carbonated water. My fizzy lemonade is going to be -0.5, so that's halfway in between 0 and 1, which is actually right here. I already have a line for that one. That's our fizzy lemonade. Fizzy lemonade. This is carbonated water. And our hydrazine. Hydrazine is a positive 1.4 degrees Celsius. So 1.4 positive is between 1 and 2. 1.4 right in here. And this is hydrazine. Now, what's really important is we remember when we're dealing with positive and negative numbers that we ask ourselves what two integers is that number going to be between. If it's negative, like a -4.5, it's going to be between -4 and -5. And that gets us to the right place on our number line. So start with which side of zero are we on? And then what two integers will my number be found between?